Moin, meine Kampfkumpelzwerge und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge von Sherlock Holmes Erwecken. Dings, da Bumster. Mein Englisch ist ja scheiße, deswegen entschuldigt, ich habe es falsch ausgesprochen. Wir starten gleich wieder rein, denn wir haben jetzt versucht, ein bisschen ein Wingman zu sein, den jungen Mann Mr. Barnes mit Mr. Fleming, genau, Mrs. Fleming zu verkuppeln. Ich hoffe, das läuft soweit. Wir müssen jetzt zu den Docks auf jeden Fall. Denn da gab es eine Explosion und das sollten wir dementsprechend machen. Deswegen ab zu den Docks. Lasset mich mal kurz gucken. So, konservativer und steifer geht's nicht. Finde ich schön. So, hier haben wir noch ein paar Bärte, die wir dann dementsprechend irgendwann mal verwenden werden. Oh, Mr. Watson. Dr. Watson. Mensch, dann kommen Sie mal mit, junger Mann. Auf zu den
Well,
Docks.
that was an utter waste of time. An assassination did seem rather unlikely. There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Ich weiß, wo er wohnt. Denn ich war da schon in der letzten Folge, wo ich nicht wusste, wohin mit mir. Aber das bleibt schön unter uns und Dr. Watson immer 10 Meter hinter mir laufen, mein Guter. Guck mal, jetzt kommen wir zum Anwesen von Captain.
Not much further now.
Ja, ich sehe es schon. Denn die Tür ist sperrangelweit auf einmal auf. Oh, ein Constable.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. It's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Beschreibung.
Tell me about Kimahir.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen. And as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
Okay.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Gut, nur mit Händen und Füßen kann man sich kommunizieren. Ja.
Is there any reason Kimahir may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
I take it this is the first time Kimahir has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Did Kimahir make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Na, dann wollen wir uns mal angucken, was hier Phase ist. Den Schuppen werden wir uns erstmal vornehmen. Dr. Watson, möchten Sie etwas sagen?
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone?
Ja, das dachte ich mir auch, aber ich glaube damals üblich. So, hier vernehme ich nichts soweit. Ich würde gerne mal den Schuppen sehen, wo der auch immer ist. Naja, okay, da geht's nach hinten. Was hab ich denn hier? Ist das so ein kleiner Teich sein mit einer kleinen Bank um die Fischis? Guckt euch das an. Nein, das soll ein Teich sein, oder? Ja, süß. Wirklich sehr süß. So, wir werden so oder so den Schuppen untersuchen müssen. Wir gehen mal ein bisschen schneller. Da hat eine Statue wieder keinen Kopf. Warum sind Statuen meistens immer kopflos? Eine Leiter.
Looks like a knee print.
Knieabdruck. Hat sich jemand hingekniet oder nur gearbeitet?
Chewing tobacco.
Oder beobachtet.
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Danke. Vergangene Geschehnisse. Ach du Scheiße. Gut, ich kann hier nichts mehr weitermachen. So ein bisschen weiter muss ich noch
Do you think
untersuchen.
Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape?
This lock is quite unusual. it appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Ist ja auch sehr menschenfreundlich. Freundlich hier. Was ist das
A
Haar?
scrap of Hessian.
Eine Sackleine.
These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Ein kleiner Kampf. Würde ich mal vermuten.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
So, Gesichtsabdruck. Da ist doch was.
A small navy spyglass.
So. Was habe ich denn hier? Die Ocarina of
A
Time?
Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
Ich will nicht wissen, was da drin
Bones
alles
made of
ist.
Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly?
Was habe ich denn hier? Oh.
Mutton chops. The remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold. A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
Jemand geklaut wahrscheinlich.
Is this a Tanifa, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
Ich kann leider dann hier nichts mehr machen, ne? Vielleicht irgendwie explodiert? Und er ist dann mit dem Gesicht voll da drauf gebrettert? Yep, das war mir schon klar.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Aber was hat das mit dem Rauch zu tun? Und hier haben wir was.
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh. This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Ich denke jedes Mal, wenn ich oben das Symbol habe. 2 Teile fehlen mir noch. Ich glaube auf jeden Fall, dass er geklaut wurde.
Yes, Stenwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
Und da hat hinten jemand gewartet. Also hier auf jeden Fall. Wir sind noch nicht
I will
fertig.
not be long, Captain.
Ich will eine Runde rum mal gehen. Falls ich dies eigentlich machen kann. Achso. Ich wollte schon sagen, warum ist die Tür denn jetzt auf? Na, was guckst du, du Pferdchen, hä? Ist knuffig, ne? Ich komme da echt nicht hin. Ich komme Tatsache da nicht hin. Oh Gott. Stoff im Rohr. Oh, kann ich das nicht aussuchen? Ich bin gerade leicht verwirrt. Ach, 2 Blatten. Check. Gut, mir fehlt noch was. Also bei aller Liebe, wenn ich hinten im Schuppen wohnen würde, dann würde ich auch abhauen. Es ist er aber. Vielleicht sollte ich zu den jungen Mann hin nochmal.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Das müsste aber der Außenhof sein, oder? Schade, man kann nicht sehen, wo wir sind. Gut, wir befragen ihn jetzt mal. Habe ich hier gerade was gesehen? Oh.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Ja, man muss halt bei diesen... Ich kann hier leider nichts machen, ne? Gut, wir schauen uns hier nochmal richtig um. Also, er hat auf jeden Fall sehr guten Morgen gehabt. Wartet mal. Wir fragen ihn mal nach einem Schlüssel.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden. Are you joking? Why would I know this? Are you joking? Why would I know this?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
Gut.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimihir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Mhm. So. Das ist wichtig zum Anhängen. Warum er uns aber auch keinen Schlüssel gibt, ne? Hi, mein Freund. Oh. Oho. Das glaube ich. Wir gucken mal. Ein Schlüssel wird vermisst. Nein. Das glaube ich schon eher. Er wurde betäubt mit den Steinen. Er hat dann dran gerochen und wurde dann dementsprechend auch noch entführt. Das ist wahrscheinlich eine kleine Goldgrube, der junge Mann. Aber er war es nicht. Warum er auch immer ein Fernrohr hatte. Ich würde es jetzt so würde es jetzt so eigentlich handhaben. Da hier dieses Fernrohr lag. Müsste derjenige dann hingefallen sein. Ich guck mal.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimmihir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimmihir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimmihir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
Danke. Es gibt nur eine Wahrheit und ich finde sie. Dauert ein bisschen, aber hey. Ich muss jetzt die Beweisdinger jetzt machen, ne? Wartet. Oh, das kann jetzt hier so viel sein, ne? Oh, du willst mich doch verarschen. Das ist eine Verarsche. So. Ich bin leicht verwirrt, aber okay. Tabak. Eine Sache fehlt mir hier noch. Nee. Ich kann hier nichts mehr aussuchen.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
Ich würde ja wirklich gehen.
Truly, there is no better evidence of a man's nature than the way he treats those who help him. And you, sir, are a brute. The cruelty of your ignorance about the Maori people, your selfish attitude to a man's kidnapping.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Oh, den würde ich ja gehörig in den Arsch treten gerade. Aber wirklich gehörig. So, dann müssten wir jetzt hier durchkommen, ne? Oh, guck mal, ist schön da hinten. Ach du, meine Güte. Ich vernehme hier schon ein paar Reifenspuren. Yep, ich vernehme hier die Reifenspuren.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather.
Ein Portemonnaiechen oder sowas.
Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man? A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
Was? Ich habe den Schluss jetzt gerade verpennt.
A large pile of horse droppings.
Da muss mein Pferd gewaltig auf Klo. Zigaretten.
Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night.
Gut, hier gibt's nichts weiter. Gut, hier haben wir neue Sachen. Einen Seemannsknoten. Und eigentlich die Fußabdrücke, ne? Die Schlüssel, die Karrenspuren führen zu Karren. In der Nähe des Karrens haben wir eine... Immer noch nicht. Nehme alles, aber nicht das Richtige. Gut, dann nehmen wir mal die Geldbörse. Das sind eigentlich die Merkmale. Ein Fernrohr. Hä, ich habe doch schon mal das... Habe ich das Fernrohr nicht schon mal gemacht? Eine Spezialknoten, ein Marinefernrohr und Stiefelabdrücke, die auf einen Mann aus der Arbeiterklasse hindeuten. Das alles setzt nur einen Schluss zu. Ja. Entführer ist ein Seemann. So, gucken wir nochmal. Wohin führt die Spur? Gut, blau brauchen wir noch. Das Strand, das hätte ich nehmen sollen. Ach, doch nicht. Wir wissen nun, dass Kimiharas Entführer wahrscheinlich Seemann ist, dass sich auf seiner Geldbörse Rückstände von Salpeter befinden und dass es am Londoner Hafen vor kurzem einen Unfall mit Salpeter gab. Alles deutet darauf hin, dass wir unsere Suche nach Kimihara am Londoner Hafen fortsetzen müssen. Wir dürfen keine Zeit verlieren und müssen so schnell wie möglich eine Droschke finden, die uns zum Londoner Hafen bringt. Okay, ja, ist okay.
The Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Na dann. Die steht da schon so wunderschön bereit. Hallöchen. Wenn du diesen Ort verlässt, kannst du nicht mehr zurückkehren. Erledige alles, was du hier noch zu erledigen hast. Ich habe doch alles erledigt.
Where to, Gavin? The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
The Blood Red Night. Die blutrote Nacht. Londoner Hafen.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
Huh. One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
I do not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps. Before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor after that.
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued.
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimmer here?
Und das, meine Lieben, ist ein gutes Zeichen zum Folgenpäuschen. Ich würde nämlich hier ein Folgenpäuschen machen. Ich bedanke mich fürs Zusehen und bis zur nächsten Folge. Ciao, ciao.